If you're running ads as a mortgage broker and you're still offering a free 15-minute call or a borrowing power calculator, then you're competing with every other broker in the market who's doing the exact same thing, meaning your cost per lead is going to be through the roof and your conversion rates will be in the gutter. Now this year alone, I've booked thousands of meetings worth hundreds of millions of dollars and tested almost 20 different offer categories for mortgage brokers. But the four I'm about to show you outperformed everything else by a mile. They're the exact offers we use for brokers in the MPA and Advisor Top 100 while managing 6 figures in ad spend every single month. Meaning we've tested pretty much every offer structure you can think of. So I know what converts, what wastes money, and what actually gets people to book in a time. And as always, I don't say that to brag. I just say it to give you the confidence that what you're about to learn is backed by real results and proven in the real world. So today, I'm breaking down all 4 offer types, exactly how to structure them, what makes them convert so well, and how you can implement them in your business from today. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete roadmap to build offers that actually stand out, attract high intent leads, and convert at rates that you probably didn't even know were possible. Let's get into it. So offer number 1 is paid live events. And this can either be a webinar, which is an online live stream, or a seminar, which is an in-person event / presentation. So straight off the bat, this is genuinely one of the highest converting offers we've run for brokers, but it also takes the most effort to pull off properly. So if you're willing to put in the work, this is going to absolutely print leads for you. The way it works is you essentially want to create a 1 to 2 hour keynote presentation about a specific topic. So it might be how to build a property portfolio or how to buy your first home or whatever makes sense for your particular niche. And then you fill up a room or live stream with that niche and spend 1 to 2 hours walking them through your presentation. And in this presentation, you want to teach them genuinely valuable strategies that they can implement and naturally position yourself as a solution to their problem. Then of course at the end, you transition into your offer and give them the opportunity to book in a time with you. Now here's the key part. These events need to be paid, not free. And there's 3 massive reasons why paid events convert way better than free ones. Reason number 1 is it increases show-up rates. With free events, people get all hyped when they sign up because they want to change their lives and they're super motivated. But the show-up rates of people that actually attend the event can be really bad, especially for in-person events. What will happen is they'll sign up 2 weeks out from the event, 2 weeks pass, they'll get notification that the event's on tonight, they'll come home from a long day at work and they're like, nah, stuff that, I'm not in the mood. I'll do it another time. Because there's no downside to them personally of not showing up to your event. They don't lose anything. So yes, you'll get way more signups to the free event, but we don't care about signups. We care about people actually showing up. And if someone's paid $50, $80, whatever you're charging for a non-refundable ticket, best believe they're showing up. Reason number 2 is it increases perceived value, which boosts conversion rate. It's no secret that if something's free, people won't value it as much. But if they have to pay for it upfront, they're more invested and they just mentally think it's more valuable. So if you have one event that's free and one event that's $50 per person, 9 times out of 10, the paid event is gonna have way higher intent people who are genuinely ready to change their lives and take action. So when you make your offer at the end, they're way more likely to go ahead and book in a time with you. It's also another easy way to weed out any time wasters and make sure people actually pay attention to the information you're presenting to them because they've literally paid money to be there. And finally, reason number 3 why tickets need to cost something is because it pays for its own ad spend, which is a mega bonus. So if you sell 50 tickets at $80 each, that's $4,000 that straight up just covers the ad spend for your event. So now you've got 50 people in a room for close to $0 in ad spend. Meaning at the very worst, even if only 1 person in that room converts, you still have a profitable event overall. Now, of course, the conversion rates will be way higher than 1 out of 50, even if you performed really badly. Because if someone's willing to pay to sit there for 2+ hours and your presentation gets them invested into why they need to take action, the conversion rates can easily be 75% plus. Meaning if you ran a webinar with 50 people in it and presented really well, that's almost 38 people who are going to book in with you after the event. So the next question you probably have is how do you actually run a webinar? Well, the way we do it is we start marketing the event 30 days out. And in those 30 days leading up to the event, you pump ads, content, and stories. So for your ads, you want your landing page to do all the work. You want it to sell the event, explain what they're going to learn, show some social proof, and then send them to a checkout page when they click the purchase button. The checkout page then collects their card details, their contact details, processes the payment, and then sends them the ticket and all the event information. Now, a good software I personally like using on behalf of my clients is HumanTix. It's convenient, it doesn't cost too much, and you only pay based on how many tickets you sell. So if you sell 20 tickets, you're not going to pay anywhere near as much as someone who sells 300 tickets. And really quickly, I have 0 affiliation with HumanTix and I'm not sponsored by them. Now, while your ads are running, you also want to be making content around whatever topic the event is about. So if it's a first home buyer event, your content should be about first home buyer grants, saving strategies, common mistakes, all of that. And then in your stories, you're doing Q&As, selling the event, and showing the behind the scenes of you preparing for it. Now, normally you'll sell about 25 to 30% of tickets from your stories and 70% or more from ads. And then the content's just good for awareness and convince people on the fence to take action. Now, there's still so much more to cover, like what you actually need to do on the night and how to handle the follow-ups after the event, but it gives you a pretty good idea of how it works. So I'm 100% going to make an entire video on this offer in the next few months to go through the whole process from start to finish. All right. Offer number 2 is lead magnets. Now this is much easier to make than a live event because you can create a quality lead magnet once and then send it out to thousands of people. Now the only downside is that the leads aren't as high intent as paid event leads, but it's still a really good way to get cheaper leads if you're happy to call a load of people. The one thing you have to ensure is that the lead magnet itself is super high quality and easily consumable. You can't offer junk Because if it's low quality, people are going to think your service is similar. Remember, this is a first impression, and obviously first impressions matter, so don't give them rubbish. It needs to be something that can genuinely help them solve a problem or understand a concept better. So lead magnet styles we've done that have worked really well are things like mini courses, YouTube videos covering a specific topic, and PDFs or flowcharts explaining a certain process or concept. Now, we can't really offer calculators or the basics anymore because they've been completely burnt out, meaning their perceived value is extremely low from consumers now because every broker under the sun is offering a free borrowing power calculator or a repayment calculator. So you need to offer something that feels substantial and more valuable. Something that makes them think, wow, this person just gave me a ton of value for free. Imagine what they could do if I actually worked with them. The way you run this is you create an ad around the lead magnet. So what it helps them do, why they need it, all of that. Basically, just use your normal ad framework, but tailor it to whichever lead magnet you're offering. Then you send them to a landing page where they fill out their information and it auto sends the lead magnet to their inbox. And a little tip here, you don't want to make it feel super transactional. Don't make it seem like you're just asking for their contact details. Instead of saying enter your details, say something like, where should we send this? Now, it's not going to dramatically change anything, but it's just a nice little touch to make it feel less transactional and like you're not just trying to harvest their email address. Offer number 3 is a pre-recorded webinar. And this is almost a combination of offer 1 and offer 2, but it's super effective if you don't just make it a long sales pitch. So we position this as a more time-consuming product, not a quick lead magnet. Our main goal is to get them invested into spending a couple of hours going through the webinar in return for a detailed breakdown of whatever concept we promised to teach them in the ad. Because if you can make them watch the whole thing and it's quality, then you would have built a huge amount of goodwill and the conversion rates are going to be sky high when you make your offer at the end. The main way we saw the time investment is by hyping up the video and explaining that you'll break down the exact process you use to help people like them achieve their dream outcome. So for example, if it's a pre-recorded webinar on how to build a portfolio as a business owner, you could say something like, we'll break down how we've helped over 1,000 business owners take their dead money sitting in the bank and build a multi-property portfolio that grows at XYZ% per year without having to spend hours per week managing properties or worrying about structure. Now, that's obviously a very rough and basic example, and there's loads of things you can add to that, but I'm just hoping you get the idea. You're selling the outcome in the process, not just watch my webinar. Then at the end of the pre-recorded webinar, you want to make your ask and send them to a landing page where they can book in a time or whatever action you want them to take. Just make sure you have conversion tracking set up on the page so you can see how many people are actually getting to it and what percentage are booking after watching the webinar, because that data is gold for optimizing your funnel. All right, the final offer number 4 is your IP workshop. I've mentioned this a few times before in my other videos, but it's essentially where you take a standard strategy call and reframe it as a customized workshop with your own unique method or framework. So for example, you might call it the clear method or the growth framework. Whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. The point is, you're positioning it as a personalized session where you run them through your proven framework that you've developed after helping over 1,000 people in their exact situation. So it's basically acting as some sort of secret sauce or unique method that gives them hope that you're the one to help them achieve their dream outcome. Because you've developed a method for people in their exact situation after picking up patterns and trends from helping XYZ amount of people like them. So I've just pulled this up here, which is one of the exact landing page frameworks we use for our clients. So if you want to see a full breakdown of this whole page, check out my video posted on the 3rd of December about the landing page that books 70+ meetings a month for mortgage brokers. I just wanted to bring it up here to help you visualize what the IP workshop offer might look like if you decide to use it. We're basically just showing them the literal steps they're going to take to achieve their dream outcome. So C is compare. You analyze over 60 different lenders that match your borrowing power, budget, goals, all that stuff. Then L is you'll go out and locate where you want to buy. So you can either refer them to your buyer's agent and pick up some extra revenue, or they can go look for a property themselves and find something in their price range. E is you'll evaluate the top options with them, and then you'll help them pick the bank they want to go with. A is you then apply for the loan and get your pre-approval. And then R is we'll review your loan after settlement and make sure you're always on the best rate. So when someone sees this and they have no idea how to get a mortgage, they know there's tons of different options, tons of brokers, and they see this, they're just like, wow, there's literally a logical path right in front of me that breaks down all the steps to get me into my dream home. So again, you're taking the exact same thing, just a basic strategy call, but you're reframing it in a way that makes it feel more valuable and customized. And a quick point here, you can definitely make these paid for investors and SMSF clients if you really wanted to. It actually works pretty well. Of course, you'll get less leads, but they'll be way higher intent and the bookings will pay for your ad spend. But I definitely wouldn't recommend doing this if you're not getting enough leads in the first place, or if you're targeting a niche that might not earn a high salary on average. So if you're targeting high net worth individuals or business owners and you've got loads of leads coming in, then charging $100 or $200 for a session isn't a bad idea. There you have it. Those are 4 unique, high converting offers that you can try as a mortgage broker. Offer number 1 is paid live events, so high effort but insane conversion rates. Offer number 2 is lead magnets, so easy to create and cheaper leads, but you need to do more calling. Offer number 3 is pre-recorded webinars, and offer number 4 is IP workshops. Now look, some of these take a lot of effort and quite a bit of money to pull them off properly, but that's how you stand out and print leads. Not by just turning on some ads and saying, we'll give you a free call and a calculator. If you want to dominate your market, you need to offer something that feels more valuable, more customized, and more premium than what everyone else is doing. So try some of these over the next few months, test them, see what works for your niche, and double down on the ones that perform. Now, if you have any questions or you want someone to help you implement this, there's a link in the description to book in a time to chat directly with me. And if you found this valuable and you want more content like this every week, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.